You are on the list of top 100 players right now. You weren't on it last year. How does that feel?
It's pretty cool. It's obviously not something that you come into the season either expecting or even looking for. But to get that recognition and see yourself up there with some of the best names in baseball and some guys that you've watched for a long time, that's pretty cool and something that is, to me, is motivation to keep doing it, to understand where you can be when you're at your best and what I got to do to stay there. And that's the important thing in this game. And it all comes down to competing every day and getting this team some wins.
So you said it wasn't expected. Were you surprised when you saw that?
Honestly, a little bit. I mean, it's something that, again, you don't really put into expectations, results, lists, all that kind of stuff. I mean, everybody knows Mike Trout's the best player in baseball, so I'm sure he probably knows when he's going into it that he's going to be number one on those lists. But no, again, it's cool, especially having it happen pretty quickly for the most part, and being so kind of involved and wrapped up in my process that a lot of those things passed me by, and I didn't even really have time to think about them. It was all about going out there for another game, and I know that's cliche, but that's how it was.
So it happened pretty quickly. 2019 was quite a year for you, an All-Star year. How do you top that this year?
I don't know if it's necessarily about topping it. It's just about getting better personally. There's always going to be things in baseball where you execute a perfect pitch and it gets hit. And, now we have all those stats like batting average on balls in play and all that kind of stuff where it really comes down to baseball luck, positioning, a few extra inches on a ground ball, one direction or another. And I really do think it's about being wrapped up in the process even more. Let's say I felt good for 20 out of whatever it was, 29 starts last year. The goal would be this year to take the mound with that attitude and, 29 out of 29 or 32 out of 32, whatever it may be, to be able to go out there every single day and be the same person. Ultimately, that's what's going to lead to consistency and results in the end.
Let's talk about the depth now with the pitching on this team. Anthopoulos made some changes this offseason. Do you like the changes? Do you like the new guys?
Oh, I mean,
I know you're going to tell me you don't not like them, right?
I mean, any time you can add, and I mean, it's always great. Especially when the depth from our pitching staff has come from years of being with these guys and seeing them work as well. It all adds to our own confidence. But anytime you're out there and your team's wanting to win and showing not only the fans but the team that we expect to win, that's an awesome feeling. Like I said, competing and being able to understand where we can be, and now expecting that we want to be in the World Series every year. With a couple of back-to-back years in the NLDS, I know it wasn't what we had hoped for, but that's fuel for the future, right? So to be able to get out there and compete for that every year, we're very lucky.
Fuel for the future. Watching the Nats win the World Series, what was that like?
Oh, I mean, it was cool. I mean, although they're in the division with us, and obviously, we're not cheering for them by any means, but it was cool to see some of those guys that we played all year, and to be honest, none of us were really all that surprised. We knew coming into it that the Nats were built for the playoffs with their pitching rotation and some of the best hitters in the world. I mean, Juan Soto, everybody saw what he did, and they were surprised, but none of us were. And with Rendon as well, I mean, the middle of that lineup and all around them came together, and like I said, they played as a team, and it was kind of cool to see that happen, especially against the Astros.
Spoken like a true Canadian, saying that it's very cool that the Nats won. I love it. I'm Canadian as well, guys, if you didn't know, so it all works in the end, right?
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you so much.